I always have Chanel wait at the front door when we're coming in, really any doorway, any boundary, curb, gateway, whatever a boundary is, even a staircase. I have her sit, I step away, I step back. She waits till I come back next to her. I pat my leg and I say, okay, and then she walks through slowly with me. So yeah, if you walk slow, she's gonna walk slow. If you're rushing around when you're handling her, she's gonna rush. And a lot of that hyperactivity that she used to have is gonna come back. So she's only gonna be as calm as the person handling her. So I'm walking super slow just to kind of exaggerate what you wanna do and have her sit. We're using this box to send her to. So with my right hand, I'm gonna pat her chest and say, go to your mat. She's gonna jump up there, down. She does a great downstay without the box, but you're gonna see that stuff in her other clips where we're out in public. But I wanted to show you what I practice here, and it's because I'm doing it on a box, on a mat, that she has such a good downstay in real life out in public, because this box, because she's such a hyperactive dog that has such a problem focusing, the box keeps her from twisting from side to side and jumping up and doing all the stuff she used to do. So it kind of shaped and formed her into a downstay. And she's really excited right now because we usually don't have a camera person standing right there pointing a camera at us. So she's gonna take a couple minutes more to calm down, but she will calm down. So this box is just made out of plywood. It's just, it's like a 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet high. That's all you need if you want to keep doing this. And it's the size of her body. So you want to make sure that you get one that's, the size of her body. And when we're starting to practice this exercise, we just are practicing a basic downstay, which you'll see me do in the other videos out in public. And then when she stays there, and she needs to stay straight, that's what this box does. She can't, if she tries to go to side, then she'll fall off. So this forces her to lay in downstay and stay straight. No, make sure that she really waits. Good, until you withdraw. Make sure she's not touching your hand or trying to take it out of your hand. It's very important. So we start out doing simple stuff like that, and once she can do that, and she's not jumping up or falling off, then you can start doing things like walking farther away. I'm gonna walk away out of her eyesight. She's supposed to stay straight. As long as she doesn't turn her body, that's okay. She can turn around and look, but she's not allowed to, shift her body on the mat. Good. And the box makes it easier for her to learn that. And then, I just do different things that might distract her, like sitting down. Usually it's like when you sit down and maybe you do things like that, the dog thinks it's an invitation to come over to you, but she knows, she stays there until you allow her to get up. So every time I'm coming right back to her, I'm giving her a reward. Good. And she kicked it up. She kicked the reward off. So we'll give that to her again. Good. Now I'll sit in this chair. So I'm just practicing little things around the house that could trigger a dog to pop up. But she knows there's only one way she gets up out of a downstay, and that's when she's released, the very specific way. No matter what else I do, she has to stay there until I release her the real way. Good. So now I'm going to go in the back of the house over here, close the door behind me, and see if I can distract her, have her pop up. If you're ever going to do something that you think is hard for her to do, it's okay to remind her, down, before you do it. So I'm going back here, closing the door, going to knock on the door, make some noise, come back out. Oh, so she stayed there. Notice how I always come back in front like this and reward her. Good. She always has to wait. She doesn't go take the reward until I withdraw, then she takes it off the mat. So all that stuff is, she's pretty good at it by now. She has a fairly high level of focus when you tell her to go down and be in a downstay. So I'm going to try some things that are more difficult for her to handle. Down. Leaving her alone in the living room, going to the windows, bang on the windows, mess with the mail flap. Good, and she stayed there, very good. She gets a big reward for that. Good. No matter what you do, where you go, you always come back and you reward her calmly. If she does something exceptional, like that was really hard, that would be hard for a dog to stay in a downstay when that's going on, give her more reward. So I gave her a bigger piece for doing that. So now I'm going to do more. Down. We'll do the mail flap, we'll do the doorbell, and knock on the door. Good. Good, big reward. And she stayed there. That was a lot of noise and a lot of stuff going on, but she knows she's supposed to stay in and down until she's released. So it may have been a struggle for her, but she still was successful. And then when I come to release her, she's waiting for me to stand next to her and release her. If I don't do that, she doesn't get up. And if she ever tries to get up before you release her, you say no, and you just step on the leash, you put her back. Because she only leaves this downstay when you, the owner, comes back next to her. You're holding the leash, pat your leg and say, okay. That's how she gets up. Sit. We're going to do this front doorway exercise again. Have her sit before I let her outside to have some free time. Going to step out. And this tells the dog, hey, this is your doorway, not hers. She doesn't pull you through. She doesn't rush through when she sees it open. It's really an important thing to do at the front door because, see how I dropped the leash and I'm going to walk farther out? She knows that she doesn't follow me and she actually doesn't go through this boundary unless I allow her to walk through with me. So you have to practice this same exercise at your doorway. She's not going to be automatically good at this at your new doorway, so we have to practice it and you have to practice it. Depending on how consistent you are, that will depend like how good she is there. That will make all the difference in the world. So you have to do what I've been doing if you want to have this at your house. But she can do it, but somebody has to do it at your doorways now. So she's good there too. So she waited till I came back. I pat my leg, okay. She walks through with me. If she goes ahead of you, just do something like that. It's just a little signal that, like tapping the brakes, like slow her down. Have her sit on the outside, and then on the outside you can pat her chest and let her be free. Go. I let her be free, and I unhooked the leash, and she stays out there. She has a little free time. When I'm going to put her in the crate, very often, you're bringing her inside from out in the yard or something, and she's really excited. She's not too out of control now, but if she was out of control, I would just step into her. At the same time I'm stepping into her to kind of reset her, I'm doing this. So let's pretend she was really excited. I just got her from outside. I want to put her in the crate. Okay, I'd be doing these little, see, it's just a little tiny kind of prompt, turning left into her, sit, just to kind of reset her, get her pointed in the right direction towards the crate. So when you bring her in the house, you need to do that little, the move is like this, it's like that. So if this is her, see it's loose, and you go like that. You don't go like this and pull on her, because if you pull on her, she's going to get crazy, because a tight leash creates tension in the dog. But if you give her signals, just like that, and really not even harder than that, and you turn your body into her, those two things together make her be this way, calm, because it's body language and it's giving her a signal and using your body. So it's really important to do that. And it may take some practice on your part, but it's really worth doing, because then you get this. So I open the crate door. She's waiting till I pat her chest. Go. She goes in there. And then when she goes in there, she turns around, she gets a reward. That's why she loves her crate, because every time she goes in here, all day long, she gets a crate. And she has to stay in there or else she doesn't get a reward. And then so I'm going to give her a reward when her head is inside. Don't give her a treat if she's sticking her head out. And then I just reach in and I take off her training collar. And right now I have I'll take that off too. I have a martingale collar on her. When her ears aren't all taped up, it'll be so much easier to take this thing off and put it on. But I just have to show you what it what it's like now. So let me get it off her so I can show it to you. But the taped ears make it really hard to do that. So, but hopefully her ears won't be taped much longer. Anyway, this thing is something I double up. And you know, that kind of stuff, it's not allowed. And if she's pawing at you, step back. If she tries to come out of that crate before you allow her, you just do this little, nope, do a little slam like that, and she'll wait. And as you can see, she respects that boundary. She knows she only comes out when I allow her, so she's gonna wait there. So this leash is attached to this martingale collar, and in case this training collar ever comes off, this comes into play and you don't lose the dog. So she wonders what I'm doing here, why I'm talking so much, because I never do this. So if you have any kind of this behavior, nope. She still hasn't come out though. She knows better. So when you're gonna put this on, I'm gonna put all this stuff on now. You just kind of put your hand through with a little treat. She takes that, you slide it over her head. I think putting it on is a lot easier than taking it off. So I just slid it over her taped ears. That's on. And then this training collar, no. This training collar is attached to this funny looking buckle. And you always attach that first so it's ready to go. So you got to attach the leash, make sure it's not twisted, so let it just hang. And then you just reach in and you hook her up. And this collar goes right underneath her ears, so it's the highest one up. It goes on above all the other collars, okay? And then you just attach it to that martingale collar, which is the red one that I put on, because we're gonna go out in public now, and just in case that training collar ever comes off, you want to have a safety collar so that she doesn't get loose and run around out there. So we've got it attached to both of them. See how she's waiting? And once you have the leash on, you can practice this exercise where you step back, she waits, good. She gets a reward if she comes out. No, she'll go back. She's just super excited now because her crate really is in the other room. It's not this crate, and she's never gone in a crate in this room before, so she was really excited at first, but now she's getting into the groove. And you can just do this exercise, good. When you control the boundary to her crate, she looks at this crate as her den, because we feed her in there, she sleeps overnight in the crate, all throughout the day she's in and out constantly, she gets treats when she goes in there. For her, the crate is a great place. That's where good stuff happens. That's her private little bedroom. So if you control her access in, you saw how she had to wait, and I said go. Don't just let her run in. It's not her choice, it's your choice. And if you make sure that she waits like I am to allow her out, good. She's gonna listen to you more with the commands because she's gonna think you're the boss. So that's why we use the crate this way. And then when you're ready to have her come out, you just pat your leg and say, okay, you should come out. And then always do your little left turn. Go back and close that crate door, because if you leave it open, then she's just gonna use it like a doghouse and run in and out, and you squander all your power of using the crate and having it be a way to create a good relationship with the dog. We have a lot going on here. I'm going to practice a little sit, stay, sit. Of course, we never repeat anything. And so I'd never say sit. If she didn't do it, I wouldn't say it again. And this is the best way to practice, where there's a lot of people walking around and a lot of things going on. There is no stay. You don't say stay anymore, because sit means to stay. So the less you talk, the better. You just say one thing, sit. She knows that she's supposed to sit there. When you're going to reward her, make sure you get eye contact. Good. Reward her straight down. If she breaks out of that sit stay, you say no, and you just reset her and put her back. We're not even here. And so we got a lot of distractions, and she's still staying in the sit stay. I'm going to reward her for that. Good. If she gets up, you say no, and you pull up and her butt goes back down. If she jumps up and starts getting excited, you say, okay. You say no. I'm pretending. Let's pretend she made a mistake, because she didn't make a mistake, but let's pretend she did. You say no. Do your left turn like this. Reset. Put her back. Don't say sit again. You already said sit once. So you never repeat your command. And it's good because we have a little child here too, and everybody's walking past. So that's your sit stay, and this is showing you that she can actually do it in a busy, public place. Okay. So here we are. You're going to do another greeting routine with Chanel, with somebody else she hasn't met. Here's the treat. When I send her over to you, just give her the treat, okay? So I'm going to have her, I had her sit. I stepped away. She waited until I came back with my right hand. I'm going to pat her chest and say, go say hi. Go ahead and give her the treat, pet her. Come before she jumps. Call her back to me. Good. Can we do it one more time?
Sure.
Sit. We're just doing this with as many people as will do it with us, and every time we do it, she gets a little bit better every time. Retreats. You call her back before she jumps, and over time, she can stay over longer and longer without jumping. Go say hi. Good. They get petted. Come. She even gets up at all. Call her away, because you know with her issue with jumping. Sit. The whole idea is that over time she never jumps on anybody anymore. So if she ever starts acting inappropriately with a guest or anybody at all, visitor, call her back to you. Call her away from that behavior. It's the best way to do it. Down. Good. She's really good with her commands, of course, now, but if she had hesitated and didn't go right down without me telling her a second, well, I never say it a second time, but if she didn't do it the first time I said it, I wouldn't repeat it. I just would have done this. Stepped on the leash, just kind of applied a little bit of pressure. Most likely she would have seen my left foot go up and she just would have dropped anyway. But she's really good. Usually she'll do it the first time you tell her. Stay is built into down, so once you show the people, well, they'll walk past anyway. Make sure we get the shot of all this going on right there. So there's a lot going on here. There's a bunch of carts. I'm going to reward her good for staying there. It's really hard for her to stay in a down stay or a sit stay when there's just so much going on, so many noises and people walking around, and carts especially. That's a big one, for most dogs. So we like to practice. No, it's okay. No, walk. We're going to be here for a while. You should walk through. Yeah, that's okay. So that's why we always practice these commands in public, to show you that she can actually do it in a real life situation. Of course, you never let go of the leash though in public, so I've never dropped the leash and walked farther away because that would be dangerous. So, good. You never know what's going to happen, who's going to walk past. That's why it's great to practice like this. And so if she popped up at any time, let's say a bunch of carts went past or she got really excited for some reason, you say no, step on the leash, she'll go back. If you have to, you step into her, do your circle, step on the leash, put her back. Oh, here we have a cart. Good. Reward her. And are you going this way? Okay. See if she'll stay down when this cart passes. Good. This is really hard for her, so I'm giving her some food so that she can deal with that stress. See, I never held her down though. I never restrained her. I just gave her treats to keep her calm as it passed by. And every time you do that, it gets easier and easier. And after a while, you don't need treats anymore. So now we're going to release her out of her downstay. You just stand next to her, pat your leg, say, okay. She gets up. And if I want to let her be free, I just have her sit. And then pat her chest, my right hand, go. Now she's free. You can just let her have free time while you walk around. I just want to show you how I've been practicing with Chanel as far as calling her to come to me. And we're doing it out here where there's a lot going out in the parking lot. And so she'll be distracted by a lot of things. But just to break it down for you, when she's on free time and I would call her back to me, I just have the leash in my right hand. And then if I'm practicing with her, I get a reward in my left hand. It's my left hand, right? My right hand has the reward. And if she sees something, like cart, people, whatever she sees that she wants to go and say hi to, come, call her to me, back away. See how she'll follow me wherever I go, no matter how many times I go in circles. Good, she'll come to me. She wants to come to this target, and when you back away, she's drawn to you and she'll run to you. So if you really want her to come to you, whether she's in your yard and she's off leash, or you're out in public, no matter where you are, okay, you want to use this target. She'll come to this target when there's no food. I don't need food now. I can call her to an empty fist, 20 times in a row, and she'll keep coming back to me because I practice a lot. But you're gonna have to practice with food for a while. And this natural balance stuff, it's just have a little piece in your hand, and I'll show you what it is when we meet. But always have that. Call her to come. Her nose touches your hand. You open it. She gets to treat. You say good. And then, like, if you wanted to get her back on the clock, step into her, have her sit. And then she's back in training mode. So make sure those are the rules. You back away. She comes to you. Use this target. She'll come to this. Give her the treat. Say good. And go. Come. Just like this. Good. Grab the leash with your other hand. You got the treat hand, but with your other hand, grab the leash so that you have her, so she can't just take the treat from you and run off. So whether she's got a leash on or a collar, this hand grabs it. So that way she's smart in that way that she'll think she can take the treat and then get away from you. So make sure, come, just like this. Good. Everything happens at once. See, I got her. I can step into her, can have her sit, get her back on the clock, whatever, do training. If I'm out in public, then I can go right into a sit stay or something like that. But that's how you want to practice your come command. I wanted to show you how I handle her on a leash. And there's really only two ways she's going to be on a leash. First, she's just going to be on free time, like where you're not doing training and you're just holding a leash, and maybe you're walking her, you're hanging out somewhere, or whatever. But she's not doing a command now, and she's not next to me. She's just on a loose leash. So I'm going to say, if I want to get her next to me, I'm going to call her to come. Good. I'm going to have her sit. And then I'm going to say, okay. And she's going to walk with me. And whenever I turn, if I want to make sure that she doesn't pull me for a while, like if I want to go right, I'm going to do a left turn. See how my body does all the work? See how the leash stays loose? All I have to do is like one prompt or one signal and turn. Because the signal slows her down and you turn. And you always use your body. See how even though she wants to run over, there's somebody over there she wants to run over to, turn, pop, and then turn into her. And your body tells her what to do, where to go. And see how she'll stay next to you? See, the leash is loose. You keep handling her this way, and she'll really stop pulling most of the time. And you'll have this. We're almost at off leash right now. I have to get out of the way of this truck. Keep filming me though as these people go past. See, I'm just walking around, always turn into her. She's used to that. Even if she sees something on the ground. If she sees something on the ground, head her off and turn into her. Sit. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you about leash walking, is that your biggest enemy is tension. So if you're gonna hold her like this, you're gonna be like this, you're gonna be dragging her around, she's gonna lose all of her training because tension on the leash creates stress in the dog. And so you don't want her to be stressed out because she can't think if she's stressed out and she won't be able to do any of the training. So you see throughout all the videos, the leash is always loose. I'm never forcing her, I'm never pulling around. I'm always keeping it loose. If I want her to come to me, I can call her to come and back away, and she comes to me. Right? I don't have to pull her to me. If I want to get her next to me, I can just step into her and do these left turns, right? I don't have to pull her like this. You never go right and pull her around, because if you start doing this, she's going to start pulling more the other way, and all the training's going to disappear. So you have to get used to this. Stepping into her, going left, using your body, no tension on the leash, and just doing signals like that. It's easier than what you would do otherwise. There's no struggling, there's no tight leash, but you have to get used to doing it. And so just remember that all this kind of stuff is your enemy, and nobody trains like that anymore, and it didn't work anyway. What works is what you see me doing, and it's easier, it's relaxing, so you want to definitely always keep her relaxed, keep that leash loose.